Okay. So I just started reading Pretty Girls last night. I watched Noelle Gallagher's unhaul she just did, and then she was talking about getting rid of Pretty Girls because she's getting rid of a lot of her books. And she was like, oh, I don't want to put it in a little free library because you might look at this locket and think it's really cute and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, this book's really messed up. I've been in a reading slump that is just ongoing forever and ever. And I was like, let me get into a really crazy book. So I was like, let's go ahead and just pick this book up last night. Bad idea. It was like midnight. And I'm a mildly slow reader. I'm not the fastest reader. And so I pick it up. I don't really know what it's about. I just know that everyone's like, oh, it's so like, whoa, it's crazy. You won't believe it. I just realized I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at the reflection of myself. Anyways. So I was like, maybe I should read this since it's so crazy. I had read the first chapter of it for my, what was it? Like, the bookish pageant that I did like a year ago. And I was like, I'm going to read this as the winner. Well, I never read it. So last night I pick it up and I'm like, I don't really know what this is about. Prologue automatically makes me cry. I was not planning on making this video. I was like, I'm just going to read this book, not a part of any sort of vlog or anything like that. So I was like, this book is crazy. I'm going to read it. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to see what it's all about because I would very much so like to know. And I was like, I want something to get me into reading. Again, so the prologue made me cry automatically. And then it is just right into the action. It is just right into it. So there are these girls that have gone missing. There's like one storyline that's kind of a storyline. It's kind of like these like small sections. This guy who's talking about his daughter who had gone missing and his like obsession with trying to figure out what happened. This is in the 90s, in 1991, so like super early 90s. And then the rest is like present day, aka 2015 or so. That's when this book came out. And it follows two different people, two different points of view. And it is wild. I am like, so what? Last night I sat up until like 100. I was trying to say the time as if the amount of pages I read, which was 100 pages, but I was up until like 2:30 reading this book. And I was like, this book is crazy. I can't stop. And then I got home from work and I immediately just sat down. I have to read my book club book, which is Abundance. Well, I'm only 22% into this thing. I have tonight and tomorrow night to read it. But, rather read this 500 something page book. It's one of those weird tall paperbacks. Like, why is it like this? What is the purpose? I don't know. Mass market, whatever. But, whoa. Like, I kept hearing how messed up it was, and then something happens, and you're like, that is so messed up. How do you write these things? And like, I was talking to a coworker and she was like, I told her where I was and she's like, oh, you weren't even like, nothing's basically happened. Like, you don't even know the extent of it. And I was like, it's so fucked up. And how do you write these things? It's like Stephen King writing that last scene of It. It's like, isn't there like some sort of issue with even like, how do you feel about yourself as you're like writing that? Like, no big deal. It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. So you're following Claire is like a rich housewife sort of lady who just kind of like her husband Paul does everything. She just got she's just got off house arrest for like beating another woman up, like this tennis player that's like she plays tennis with, and for you find out the reason, you're like, okay, I see. Like, fuck, I see that. Anyways, so she's meeting up with her husband, and they go into this alleyway, and her husband's acting a little different, you know? Like, what's up with him? He's got some, like, spice going on, like, some spark. Anyways, the alleyway goes horribly wrong. Just, it says it right on the back. Someone comes up and tries to rob them. I'm suspicious of the whole thing, you know what I mean? And he's about to take Claire and put her in a van, and her husband Paul is like, "Oh no, you don't." You know, he gets, and so that happens. And you're like, what? But then you start finding some stuff out. But you're also following Lydia, who is estranged from her family, and oh my god, it's just so crazy. She's estranged from her family, though, because they don't believe her about something that happened in the past. Lydia and it says it right here. I guess I just didn't read the back, so I was like, oh my god, Lydia and Claire are sisters? That's crazy. Also, like, those 1990s, the dad, it's their dad. What? The girl who went missing in the 90s, their sister. What? So I was like, everything is going wild. Yeah, so I'll get back to you when I get a little further. Oh, it's following Lydia right now. She's like an ex-drug addict. Or, I mean, you're always an addict if you're an addict, you know? But she's a recovering addict. And she's just like living her life, you know, trying to be happy, has been estranged from her family, but she has a good daughter, a good boyfriend, a good life. She's got a grooming business. She's really put her life back together. And then she's getting tied back in, you know what I mean? Like, roped in. I'll let you know what happens. I don't know why I set you up here. I was like, I'm gonna like maybe cook something and tell you guys. But what's really happening is I just ended up standing here and telling you my thoughts on this so far. So I hope that's enjoyable. Yeah. Okay. I'm all about a good investigation, especially some like amateur sleuth like stuff, because, you know, they got to get into it. They got to figure this out. They got to know who's bad, who's good, who do we trust? No one. I don't know who to trust. I love it though. This is exactly what I needed, was Pretty Girls. About halfway through, almost halfway through. I've read about 120 pages today. Okay, not halfway through. I'm getting there. But I feel like this should be a spoiler thing because I'm only going to talk about this book. So therefore, maybe I need to give spoilers. So from this moment forward, I guess I'm going to give spoilers or light spoiler. I don't know. I'm going to go into detail a little bit. So Claire and Lydia are now working together. And it's crazy. And I don't trust anyone. I kind of feel like they should go to the FBI agent, even though he's creepy. Like, I feel like I want, because Mayhew, the chief, that guy's dirty. He's dirty. He's a dirty bird. Bad man. Also, Quinn, the partner that Claire was sleeping with, Paul's partner, also dirty. Very dirty. There's something wrong with that man. That man sucks. He left that creepy note on her car, and it's like, also the guy that attacked them with the snake tattoo that killed Paul, I'm like, he hired him. Like, I know he hired him. I'm sure he hired him. Is Paul actually dead? I don't know. Why was he embezzling $3 million? Doesn't make sense. You're already super fucking rich, you know? Like, why do you need that money? This doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. But I'm waiting for them to find something new. They're about to go through the files. They just looked at his computer a little bit, and they're going to try and get Alex off the case. Sorry. They're going to try and get Quinn to stop being annoying. They're just too many bad men. The only good man in this book so far is Lydia's boyfriend Rick. That man's very sweet man. Very sweet man. Everyone and the father. Gosh, the father is so sad. Oh, every time I read one of his like little sections, I'm like immediate tears. Immediate tears. I can't help it. But I don't trust anyone. I think everyone's bad. I'm about to start chapter 9, and they're going through the boxes, and Claire is lying to Lydia and saying there's no file on her, which, you know what? I get it. I get it. She's trying to protect her sister and saying, like, don't feel like you were watched your whole life, or like, for like 18 or so years, because you were. And that would probably make you feel bad. Also, finding out that your daughter's scholarship came from your almost rapist that's like a rapist murderer. No. Who's in the video? Who is the man in the mask in the videos? He doesn't have the moles that Paul has. Oh. Soon to find out. Soon to find out. Okay, it turns out the partner Quinn, his name is not Alex, it's Adam. I'm just bad with names. They've got to go into the basement. Oh my god, there's totally a secret room down there. And the murder room is in the basement. She just said the basement's freaking enormous. Well, there's like more files down there, but the murder room's down there. I mean, I know the murder room's down there. Where else would it be? In the houses he's building? I mean, it's the murder room. I'm sure. The murder room is in the basement. Or Lexi. Wait, what? He has a fake persona too? What? Are there this many twists in this book? I'm confused. I don't. I look kind of crazy right now. It's because I'm tired. But I really like this line. It baffles me that the only times lately that I don't think about you are the times I am debating Joyce with a likely cannibal. What is going on? I should go to bed soon. I think it's probably like midnight. But I stayed up until 2:30 last night. So, there I am. Sleep. I don't know. I probably won't update you again tonight. I'll probably read a little bit more. And then... Oh my god. So, I just got home from work, and I'm reading Pretty Girls again. Pretty Girls. And... They're at Paul's childhood home, and they just went in the garage, and they're VHSs, and there's a lot of blood, and one of the VHSs says the date that Julia went missing. I knew it. We all knew it, but what can this mean? I didn't actually, like, on the page, I just started this page. I'm holding my camera, so I'm being really awkward. But I could just see that the date of Julia's death. So I'm like, oh, I don't even know what's going on, but I'm freaking out. I knew it. Paul's alive. Paul, alive. We all... Whew. And that reveal, I was like, what? It's like, she smelled Paul's aftershave. Oh, then she smelled the DVDs, or because she found the VHSs of her sister. And then, so she's putting them away or in the away in a trash can. I don't know. Anyways, so she smells them, thinking his aftershave's on them, and he says, "Claire," and he punches her in the face. What? Okay. I'm speechless. And then it goes back to a dad chapter, and I'm like, I don't want to read a dad chapter right now. This shit's too crazy. But, they do it on purpose. Oh, whoopsies. They do it on purpose, so you have to wait. It's disheartening. Why do you break it up? We're in full intrigue. We're in full, what moment? We're only halfway through. We are only halfway through this book. This is... It's at least over 200 pages right there. 250 pages. How much more? That's a full book. How much? I mean, obviously Paul's alive, so therefore... some fucked up shit's about to happen. I'm scared. For Claire, for Lydia, for Dee. I just feel like she fits the profile, obviously. This can't go well. And Paul has everyone in his little pocket. He has his little pocket. I'm sorry, this is overall, so I'm his little pocket. There's no pocket here though. But he has everyone in his pocket. The governor. He has the governor. He has the sheriff. They're the captain. He has maybe this FBI agent. Most likely not. That seems a little... Also his old partner. I'm worried, to say the least. I'll let you know when something happens. I mean, something happens all the time in this book. It's boom, boom, boom. Something happened. And I'm like, how are things still happening? 300 something pages in. And it's just crazy, crazy, crazy. Every moment feels like a climax. How do you do that? I swear. It just gets crazier and crazier. I was mouth gaped open and tears welling in my eyes. I was because, oh my God, their dad, when they found his body, he had one of her tapes loaded. That was excruciating. My camera was in the other room, and I was like, I have to go grab it so I can say something about this. I'm kind of tired, and I feel gross right now because I got my booster shot. But, yeah. So, I'm starting to think that Paul's not a bad guy. I have a star on my face. Anyways, I'm starting to think that Paul's not a bad guy. I think it's his uncle. I think he's being blackmailed or I don't know, he's in some weird situation and he made it look like he died so that he can get out of it. I think. I don't know, maybe he's a bad guy. I don't want him to be or not to be a bad guy. I take back my prior statement. I forgot he's a rapist. That does not excuse, or the not being a murderer does not excuse him being a rapist. So, he's still a bad guy. Duh. I was just oh, he didn't kill those girls. And then I was he's talking to Claire, and I was wait a second, Lydia, that whole story. And also, all those other things, and he's been tracking people and their cameras all throughout the house. Yeah, he's a bad guy. It's like, he's a bad guy. So yeah, don't listen to me. Hey y'all, it's dark in here, but I'm back. I'm on one of the dad chapters. Sometimes I'm like, especially when you're switching between characters so often, I kind of get a little bit like it's hard to readjust to following a new character. I'm gonna move. Okay, so sometimes it's hard to readjust to with multiple characters and multiple perspectives, and each chapter switches to like a different person. It's hard to readjust to like the new storyline. Like, I'm happy that Linda and Claire are together, so when you're readjusting, it's kind of like the same storyline, but at this point they are apart because Linda, what's her name, right? Am I just like really bad at remembering things? Has been Lydia. She's been kidnapped by Paul. Oh, there I am. She's been kidnapped by Paul, but now we're on a dad chapter and I'm like out of it again. I'm like, why does it keep readjusting behind me? Like, vroom, vroom, vroom. Am I going crazy? I'm just trying to read a book. Anyways, it's been a little while. I didn't have to tell you that, but I told you that anyways. I've been kind of busy, but I'm back again. I'm like really close to being done with this book, and then I can tell you like my full thoughts. I mean, I am walking you through everything that happened. And Claire just found out that Paul, because she saw the raw footage, Paul is like 100% that guy. He is that guy. He is a fucked up motherfucker. He is a bad man. He does murders and he does bad things. And we knew that. I mean, we knew that going in, right? Yeah. Paul is bad. I called it. Did I? Cat, what are you doing? Hey. Come here. So we'll find out how bad he is. I mean, we've already found out he's scum of the earth. He is like big old piece of shit. A POS. Piece of shit, Paul. And she knows those marks on his shoulder. She knows them. She knows them so well. And we know what's going on. Okay. I know it. I'm sitting in front of a bookshelf right now. I'll tell you that I read books. But Paul killed Daddy. We know it. Everyone knows it. Paul killed Daddy. That's what I meant to say in the last 4 clips. Because he knew that Paul's daddy was a murderer. A peeping Tom, and soon he'll know he's a murderer too, because he's going to find the tape. And no, Paul's going to bring him the tape. Paul's going to bring him the tape and kill Daddy. Paul will kill Daddy. I know Paul, and he's a murderer. So Paul's going to kill Daddy because Daddy was like, why am I calling him Daddy now? I don't know. It's obvious. It's obvious. Paul killed Daddy. Paul killed Daddy. Is this better lighting? Okay. That's all I really had to say. Because Paul's dad was a peeping Tom, and their dad knows. Their dad knows he was a peeping Tom. On Julia. And he's gonna investigation station that. I got a little teary-eyed, and then I just, I'm back to me. But I'm sure this is going to hit me in the feels at some point. It already has. I just didn't really videotape it because video camera record it. Because I wasn't near my camera. Good job, me. Camera should be near me if I am vlogging. This kind of makes sense because we all want to see me cry. I don't know. Okay. See you soon when we find out that Paul killed Daddy. Okay, so I thought I should probably update you before I finish my book. I don't have many pages left, maybe like 50. And it's oh, that's what she looks like. That's Karin Slaughter for you. This crazy motherfucker that wrote this book. That was, wow. Her head. The shit crazy. Paul bad. Did I say he killed Daddy? And she even called him Daddy. She said, for Daddy. That's what Claire said. For Daddy. So, Daddy's normal. Claire's right now going to kill Paul. And she found the list of all the people that were buying these, like, smut films. Snuff. I'm like, smut's just, like, raunchy. Snuff is, like, fucking sicko. So she's gonna out all of them. She's going to out all of them on this, and it's gonna be crazy, and I am enjoying it, and I'm just like, yes, you get them. But I feel like Lydia, oh my god, what Paul's been doing to Lydia, it's so fucking gross and horrifying and just horrible. And like the fact that he got her to take Percocets. Oh no, Lydia! I feel bad for Dee and her boyfriend. So that's kind of sad. He's gonna kill her. She's gonna be killed. Like, I was like, Karin can't kill off Lydia. And then I'm like, this is a book, Rachel. And she is all about surprise, crazy stuff. Lydia's going to die. Lydia, like, has to die. Lydia's going to die. I mean, I don't want Lydia to die. I would much prefer Lydia to live. But Paul's gonna die, Lydia's gonna die. Or Claire's gonna die. Wow, I didn't think of that. I guess because we're following Claire right now and she's the one getting the vengeance. So I was like, there's no way you can kill Claire. But she can. Do you think she's gonna have a section where it's in Paul's perspective? I just thought of that. That'd be fucking crazy. I feel like it's hard to write from the perspective of someone this crazy, but we've read American Psycho, so I mean, I don't know if you have, but I've read American Psycho, and some people are able to do that, you know? So we will find out soon about what happens, and I'll give you my reaction. I was like, I should probably give a little update before I just finish the book. So I'm gonna go do that. Maybe I'll eat something too. I don't need to tell you that. Okay, bye. Final thoughts on Pretty Girls. This isn't what I was about to talk about, but yeah. Final thoughts on Pretty Girls. Pretty Girls was phenomenal. I loved it. It was very trigger warning happy. I think that the way she did the like gore and like horrifying stuff was in a way that wasn't really, she didn't show it too often, which was nice. It wasn't like complete trauma porn. It was more like you knew it was happening and you got little tidbits, but you didn't really, like, she didn't describe as often like the more graphic, like, assault stuff, but you knew it was happening. And she did describe some horrifying stuff though. There was the pee bag thing happening. That was disgusting. Also some like really gruesome murder scene of Paul, but that was well deserved. In the end, it was very happy, you know, like I teared up. I was like welling with tears because I was so happy that their family was back together and that you get the girls back together and they all lived. And it was very beautiful, and that it's like behind them, and she does a nice like wrap up. I kind of like a wrap up sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, you know, just not fade to black, but like you don't have to walk through every single person and what happened to them like at the end of a crime television show. Instead, it's more like, I don't know, because I did want to know what happened to like the governor guy and like the police people and everyone in that regard. And like finding Julia's body and stuff like that. Like I wanted all these things, and what ends up happening with the girls and like the mom and stuff. It's nice. It's nice to have a nice little bow on it, because then I'm kind of worried about them. So 5 stars. That was wonderful, beautiful, magical. Loved it. Every minute of it. Thank you. So thanks for joining me on my journey to read Pretty Girls. I had a very nice time. Bye. Oh, be sure to subscribe.